I get on. I got on quickly.
Yeah, you're on 5 minutes early. Thank you so much. Technology is improving. So welcome
Yeah.
everyone. It's great to have you all on the call today. My name is Justin Phillips, and this is the amazing Jos Sawyer, aka the Life Medicine Man. And today, I think it's about our 8th interview that we've done weekly on all different topics from the traditional Chinese medicine perspective, where we are very blessed and grateful to have great insight and a very different view, traditional Chinese medicine perspective into a number of really interesting topics that's affecting a lot of people at the moment. And the idea of weight gain and like feeling stagnant and stuck at the moment is pretty common for a lot of people. So we're going to talk today about what is a healthy diet from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective. And so I want to welcome you to the call. Myself, my wonderful wife, Nicole, and I live on beautiful Bribie Island, southeast Queensland, and we're very passionate about empowering people with health and happiness and prosperity, and sharing some of our extraordinary life experiences, including some of those we've had with Jos. And so before we get started, just want to ask you please do not record the call. It will be distributed via the links, and you can get back to the person that invited you to join us on the call today if you'd like to see a recording, or if you've registered for the call, you should get the recording there as well. And please, we encourage you in the chat box to put some questions and answers, to put some comments and questions that you may have. We'll do some Q&As with that as we have our conversation. And I want to welcome you to the call. So many of you, I'm guessing, you're looking for an improvement in your health and well-being if you're on the call, or perhaps those people that you know. And our hope today is that we can empower your healing journey with some great information. And I'd like to introduce the amazing Jos Sawyer to the call. He's born in 1958 in Germany. Jos has a Bachelor of Health Science Acupuncture, diplomas of Oriental Massage and certificates in structural balancing, sports injury management. He began working as a therapist in 1991 and qualified as a Doctor of Traditional Chinese Medicine, and lectured in traditional Chinese medicine for 10 years. That's actually where I met Jos, when he was a supervisor of the acupuncture clinic at the Australian College of Natural Medicine when I studied there. And Jos has founded and operated health centres and worked internationally with celebrity clients in the US and so forth. So he's got an amazing reputation in that world. And health and fitness has always been a massive passion for Jos. His background includes competitive skiing at a national level, competitive snow skiing, bodybuilding, triathlons, Ironman training. But it was when Jos discovered Kung Fu and Tai Chi, he realized that fitness is only a part of the equation and vitality is the other. And that led to decades of research into how we live and how nutritional supplements and herbs, optimal diet, therapeutic exercise, martial arts, meditation make you feel good. I love it when you say that. You want to feel good. Yeah. So when Jos started the 24-hour movement of Qi, the traditional Chinese medicine body clock, that connects our day-to-day activities to the natural cycles of life, he developed his Qi cycle lifestyle. And this really is the ultimate in lifestyle medicine. It's founded on thousands of years of traditional Chinese medicine and over 30 years of Jos academic research and practical observations from living it. So Jos is a pretty amazing speaker and author. He's written 7 books, I think it is now. I'll put those links where you can get a lot of resources from Jos, and it had some great feedback. Thank you, Jos, about all the different articles and the great free resources that you've got on your websites there. It's totally awesome. And I've been continuing to work my way through clocking on to health, and I've been reading the spleen section today. That was fantastic. So welcome to the call, Jos. Thanks for being here again.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. Yeah. It's good to be here again. So
yeah, always learn something new. Very interesting. One of the we've talked about a number of things over the last few weeks, and I hope people are taking that on board. The people that are attending regularly to these interviews, you're trying some of the things that we're suggesting and Jos is talking about. I actually enrolled to start transcendental meditation tomorrow. So
wow.
So I reached out.
You will notice the change. Oh yes.
Sorry, say again.
You will notice the change.
Yeah.
Transcendental meditation is like meditation can't be put into words. It needs to be experienced.
Totally.
unfortunately, according to my observation, most people have the wrong understanding of meditation.
Yep.
And they think meditation is something that is enormously hard to do and that requires the calming of the mind and things like that. It's just like most people say, oh, I can't meditate. Meditation is not me. Whereas, as a matter of fact, we are already by nature connected to that state. We just have to click into it. And that's what transcendental meditation does. It shows you how to click into that state. And you then suddenly get that blissful feeling. And you feel very cosmic and totally detached from all the mundane bullshit. And in that moment, you feel rejuvenated on a deep heart level. And you feel that you are an infinite being rather than getting caught up in this sort of struggle in the physical, trying to survive, which can deplete your resources on every level. And having a connection to meditation that takes you into your true nature, which is the infinite being, which the Chinese call the cosmic self, rather than the mundane self. So once we meditate, we obviously experiencing our true nature. And that is always blissful, that is always love, and that is always enormously supportive. So we understanding in that moment lots about life. We understanding that there's more to it than just the physical. And we can see that there is an invisible network around us that supports our physical being. We can sense that what we perceive as structure, as physical structure, is in fact contained with something that is energetic and invisible. And in Chinese medicine, it's all this invisible is regulated by acupuncture meridians, by the energy organs, which then come down into the physical and manifest as the physical. But the physical is not the real life. The real life is in the energetics. And this is why a healthy diet is so important, to understand that we need to work with the energetic realm more than with the physical realm. Mm. And now we are experiencing lots of struggle and lots of stress in the Western world. I mean, the physical world is always stressful. It never has been at peace. This planet is a planet of struggle. This planet is a planet of war. This is a planet of battle, according to the Vedas, according to the Taoists. So being here is a bit of a journey. It's tough to be here.
Yeah, you know? You can't just sit on your laurels. Yeah,
it's not a walk in the park. Yeah. For some people it is. Some people do have a bit of a cruisy life, but I don't meet them. Apparently they do exist.
The enlightened ones just cruising on through.
Yeah. The enlightened ones worked very hard. They had to struggle first, yes.
Yeah.
And the physical is a battle. And so the Bhagavad Gita starts with that framework, that being here is actually is the same as being in battle. We need to fight for our existence. We need to fight for what we are. Mm. So the Taoists obviously take this to a next level and say, okay, what does it really mean? And it means that the physical is a condensed reality that doesn't match the soul. The spirit is used to ever-present expansion. We always want to roam. Anywhere we think about, we want to go. So our nature on the spirit level is to roam instantly, to be anywhere instantly. So that allows us to have a true connection to what we are, but when we come into the physical, it gets condensed. And in order to experience this vastness of our true reality, we need to understand what to eat and how to eat so that we can connect to this energetic nature. Yeah. So because if we can connect to our energetic nature, our infinite being, we have access to infinite energy. We have access to infinite love, infinite nurture. Whereas in the physical, if we are disconnected from the energetic, then nurture depletes very quickly. Love becomes sour, and joy turns into depression, and fun becomes harsh. So, but when we return to the infinite nature of ourselves, it immediately goes back to what we truly are, which is love, joy, and infinite expression and expansion. So that means we have the ability to constantly tap into something that has infinite nature, infinite energy, but when we are trapped in the physical, energy depletes. And when energy depletes, we then get symptoms. When we get symptoms, we try to rectify the symptoms. And the first thing what we do is, in order to rectify the symptom, is we eat sugars and chocolate and a big chocolate mud cake, because in that moment we feel back in heaven.
Yeah, makes us feel good for a bit.
Yeah, so we're returning to this nurture. So when we have a chocolate mud cake, we return to our true nature. In that moment, it feels good, but obviously it obstructs a lot of other aspects of the body, and then it leads to deficiency pattern. And if we continue to have the chocolate mud cake as a means for feel good, it eventually turns into a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we get weight gain, we get irritable, we get cranky, we feel depressed, we feel anxious, and we don't feel good about ourselves.
Mm.
So the next thing is we go onto a diet to correct that. And now we're going to go on the celery juice diet. And what happens now is we correct the initial correction by chocolate by doing it with celery, but we're neglecting other aspects. So we're not returning to the energetic nature that we are.
Yeah.
So we're neglecting other aspects. So when it comes to a healthy diet, it's actually it's a lot involved, more than just what food to take.
Yeah.
Yes?
That's been one of the biggest things I've learned from you, is like the energy of how you eat.
Yes.
I was doing it this morning. I was just sitting and I wasn't feeling quite right. I was feeling like disturbed energetically, and even my vision and stuff, I was like, oh, I just feel out of whack. And I just sat with it and settled. And I just felt something shift. I was like, oh, okay, it's good now. Yeah, but I had to get super still and just like reflecting within. And it was like my chi changed.
Yes. And the aim that we have with a healthy diet is to, first of all, connect to that which is infinite, so it can provide us with all the energy that we need. Yes. So when we eat chocolate, we only have a short-term energy, but when we connect to the infinite nature, we have infinite energy.
Mm.
So it's like an infinite chocolate mud cake waiting for us.
Mm. Yeah.
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 So this is what the Vedas talk about it, that in heaven we have these delicious foods, we have these delicious drinks. What they mean with that is the delicious food we have on earth is only a temporary experience of that what is waiting for us if we connect to the true nature of ourselves via the meridian system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I want to talk today about, a little bit about what it really means, a healthy diet. Because a lot of people in my line of work as a therapist, the first thing what I hear when people book in is, I want to get healthy. I want to start a healthy diet. I'm going to start eating fruit and have salads and do the celery juice. Okay, so that's what I hear all the time.
Mm. Yep.
So that's actually not healthy as such.
Yeah, it's a mental construct, right? People are
Yes,
judging that
yeah.
that's right.
It's an instant correction of something that is already out of whack, but it will not return to health.
Mm.
In order to return to health, we need more than just having the salads and the celery juice. We need lots more.
Mm.
And, this is obviously what I need to address today. So
I think that's like people, it's amazing that we're still doing it. Humanity's still doing it. And yet all the statistics show the number one indicator of obesity in the US is people that have done dieting.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Been on this like massive cycle of dieting, which ends up being like self-restraint and deprivation. And then they actually want the bad foods even more. And it gets very stuck in the physical, physical craving and physical judgment.
Yeah, according to my observations, it's been 40 years in therapy now, all up, initially in counseling before I came to Chinese medicine over 30 years ago. So dieting always has caused the biggest problem.
Yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? People are trying to do the right thing.
So Chinese medicine has got a totally different angle on the whole thing. But before I start, I need to say I've been researching dietetics, and I'm a foodie for over 40 years. So I have researched several philosophies, such as macrobiotic, just I've been researching everything. For decades, I baked my own bread. I cultured my own sourdough culture, and I went through the whole spin with what really is healthy eating. Yeah.
Yep.
I studied under top masters in the East what kind of foods you need to combine. But obviously in Chinese medicine, it provided all the puzzle pieces to put together into one framework. Chinese dietetics is over 3,000 years old. So it has been researching and observing and evolving dieting for over 3,000 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. So in the West, diets only just started the last 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And we just, especially in the last 5 years, there's a lot of new diets suddenly.
Yeah.
All different diets. And so everyone thinks that's a solution.
Yep.
Where I come from is, what does the diet mean in the long run? For example, people who do keto diet. What does it mean in 10 years or even 20 years?
Yeah.
So people would do intermittent fasting by skipping breakfast and not eating till lunch and then having 6-hour windows for eating. What does it mean in 15 years? It may cause and create some immediate, pleasant, rewarding changes, such as keto diet is like immediately causes a weight loss. But it's one of the crudest form of attacking the body to lose weight. And from my perspective, it's a disgrace to eating. It's my personal view on keto.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to eating, we have taste buds, and taste buds are enormously important because taste buds are connected to the meridians. If we eat, enjoy, if we eat the food and it moves, it talks to us and it opens up to us, we open up meridians, because the aim in Chinese medicine is to not only target the physical body, but to actually trying to enter the energy body, the meridian system, the infinite nature, the storage of infinite nature, the storage of your soul, your spirit force, because the food can actually take you there. You see, food can take you to heaven. And so we just need to know how to work with food. And from that perspective, my view on the healthy diet is do it for longevity. Do it so it takes you all the way to a beautiful life that you can enjoy and you feel nourished and nurtured while dealing with these harsh conditions of the physical world. In order to because food is designed to return to our center, to receive the energies from God, from Tao, from Buddha, and to come in so that we feel, all right, I'm ready to kick ass again. I can move forward again. I can tackle my problems. Yes. And so, but if I take a diet that hasn't got those taste buds involved to take us into heaven, into this joy, into this support, then it's a short-term gain, but on a long-term suffering, because you're actually not gaining on the long term. So as this is my position is, I have observed it for 40 years. So whereas most of the people who come up with diets are only in their early 20s or mid 20s or early 30s, and only have maximum 10 years of personal experience and observation. So when it comes to dieting, you do need you need time, you need age. Like the best diet counselors would be in their 60s because they have seen it all. They're not trapped in theory.
Yes. A lot of experience. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for experience.
Yeah, it's this theory. Theory is one of the biggest problems, the biggest enemy of feel-good. Just because someone says it, is it true? Yeah, we got to always the Buddha said, don't believe anyone, not even me. That's what the Buddha said over and over. In Taoism, Taoism says the spoken word never speaks the truth.
Yeah.
So I need to find it within. And there's nothing better than get a rewarding experience that connects me to the infinite nature of myself. Because in that moment, I simply know this is right.
Mm.
Yes.
So they sometimes say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
Sorry?
They're saying the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, right?
Yeah.
Which sounds really like shallow, but there's actually an element of truth, because that bliss and ecstasy you can have from beautiful food, you know, you can really, it takes you to a place that's quite inspiring.
Yes, it's got to go, yum. Because yum and is very similar. It's a frequency of the universe. It's the Big Bang. And then we go, yeah. There's a lot to say about when we enjoy the food.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the aim is to understand that we are that we got two different universes in our body, and the aim is to connect and merge them both together. And with the right foods, we can do that. Yeah. So if we take a diet that is purely based on physical measurements, that doesn't incorporate the universe of the energetics, of the meridians, of the spiritual realms, then you will only get one side of the coin. Yes, you will not get the better outcome. So in 3,000 years, or in over 3,000 years, the Chinese have observed, what do we need to eat in order to connect to the meridians, so that the meridians open up. If the meridians open up, it will take us to the organ. The organ then will provide us with the exact empowerment that we need. Yes. So in Chinese medicine, the organ structure, it knows everything what we need for creation in order to be a perfect human being. Our organs understand more than the biggest PhD scientist ever will come close to. Biochemical processes in the body are far too complex to be managed by the conscious mind. So there's millions of biochemical processes occurring every split of a second. You cannot consciously monitor that. There's an intelligence that rules it all. And this intelligence is governed by the organs, by the 12 organs. The 12 organs are connected to the 12 solar systems, which are then the 12 zodiacs. So that opens under the 12 heavens. And that opens up to the big Tao that rules the whole thing. So from the organs to the universe, to the galaxies, to the bigger, to the infinite, to God. That's the progression. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So each organ knows exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's like a committee that functions in perfect harmony.
It must be spiritual, because that's not physical.
Yeah. It's supposed to function in perfect harmony till we start thinking about it. Yeah, that's when committees go nuts, because everyone has got different ideas.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got 12 people in a committee, everyone got that job to do. Everyone is an expert in the field, but suddenly one person thinks the other person should do that. So that's analysis, that's overthinking.
Yep.
That's now not surrendering to what is and bringing personal ideas into it. Once you put personal ideas into it, obviously you whack that harmony. Yeah, that's why in Chinese medicine, we don't think, we feel. Don't think, feel. That's the holy mantra. Don't think, feel. Because if you feel, you know what to do. You just let it come from within. So the Chinese, over 3,000 years, have observed what we can do in order to open up to it. Yes. And this is where the recommendation in Chinese dietetics come into. Okay. For example, what I hear very often is, I should eat 5 pieces of fruit a day. I should have 3 servings of vegetables a day. I should have no carbs at all. I should only have certain proteins, and I should eat the food raw. Okay, so in Chinese medicine, in the dietetics, we don't go for fruit. We don't dissect, shall we eat fruit? Shall we eat veggies? Shall we eat this? We put everything context to others. Chinese medicine is only concerned about how an ingredient relates to others. It's concerned about the context, not the isolated value. So we don't answer the question, should I eat 5 pieces of fruit? It's irrelevant, because it's about knowing what to do in order to get you into this energetic state, transcendent state when you eat. Because when you do that, things will happen. Yeah. So when it comes to food, in order to do its work effectively, it is run by the dynamic. It's subject to the dynamic of detox, mobilization, building, and calming. So whatever the food that we take, that we eat, needs to fulfill those 4 criteria. That means it needs to detox, it needs to mobilize, it needs to build, it needs to calm. So in Chinese dietetics, this is regulated by the 4 values of yin and yang. That means yin yin, yin yang, yang yang, yang yin. So that means you've got all 4 directions: north, south, east, west. You get everything covered. That means you are fully, you're in space, rather than isolated to just the North Pole or to the south side. When you take a celery juice, you go to the North Pole, you detox. But you don't do much about the south, which builds, nor do you mobilize, which is the east, nor do you build much, which is the west. Yeah. So that means it serves one purpose, but it doesn't focus on others. So in Chinese medicine, yes, of course we work with celery juice. Of course we work with celery, but we add celery with other elements. For example, we work with spices. In Chinese medicine, everything's about spices. Like when you look at the East, it's all about spices. So we got a whole list of spices, because each spice has got a very specific energetic quality. It's either yin yin, yin yang, yang yang, or yang yin. That means it's either detox, or it mobilizes, it builds, or it calms. So for example, when you look at black pepper by itself has got a detox ability. So if you combine it with cardamom, you've got a building element in there. If you put poria mushroom in there, you calm it. So now you've got like several spices coming together. And when you look at cinnamon, when you look at gaotu kola, when you look at ginger, all these spices and have a very specific function in the energetic dynamic. So citrus peel, we use a lot of citrus peel in Chinese medicine because it detoxes. Citrus peel has got an incredible power that makes the celery juice boring. Because citrus peel takes all the phlegm, it moves, it mobilizes at the same time. But if you then put fu ling, which is a poria mushroom, into it, and some black pepper and ginger, you got all 4 qualities covered. Yeah, and so now you got the citrus, the fruit, you got the celery in there, you got the mushroom, and you got combining it with ginger, which holds it all together. Yes. For example, ginger is something that needs to be taken every day. Every meal should have ginger. Yeah. We always talk fresh ginger, not the ginger powder, because what ginger does, it takes care of the detox, but it also takes care of unifying of all the different ingredients. Like every Chinese herbal formula has a certain amount of ginger in there.
Right.
Because ginger makes sure that each of these 6 ingredients act with each other and work with each other and create the harmony. Because the outcome is to move you towards a very specific meridian. Yes. So if you know what your symptoms are and you know how you feel in a certain way, then that means you take certain spices into that diet. You may work with licorice root. You may work more with monk root, or you work with cardamom. And there's a whole list of herbs and spices that we work with, that targets. But because you have other elements in the diet, such as beautiful honeys or lotus leaves or some nice vegetables in there, and the fruits also, and you cook it all together in coconut cream, or you take other creams and you steam it, and then with other nuts, and then you put it over nice fermented rice, you get a complete picture that not only targets the detox, but it also mobilizes the chi. But at the same time, it builds you and it takes you at calm. So I get like, oh, this transcendent feeling. So you can see by now how complex dieting is. Yeah. So the first thing what I'm always saying to people is, do not study diet, research spices. For example, go Google what black pepper is. What is black pepper? Yeah. Google what is cardamom. Google turmeric, ginger. Start looking into it. We have got this incredible opportunity now to really evolve ourselves on a level never before, because Google gives us instant access to the ingredients.
And we've got good access to ingredients in Australia too. We can get just about anything.
Yeah, anything. And you get instant, like, as long as you don't ask, if you ask what is the best diet, you will get trapped, you then get trapped in ideas and thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you say, okay, what is the benefit of black pepper? And that's an unbiased information. There's no...
You'll be moved to what the things that have benefits that you need, you'll be moved to that. So you'll be moving in the direction of the right diet for yourself.
Suddenly understand, I never heard of, like, people put black pepper on a steak, but if you got to a restaurant, would you like some black pepper with this? No one knows how incredible, powerful black pepper is. If you understand what black pepper is, and you combine it with maybe some mushrooms, like my favorite is poya mushroom, or fuling, or any other of those Asian mushrooms, which you can buy in a lot of Asian shops these days, because we live in times when everything's available. So so that means you got the opportunity to combine a lot of ingredients. Yeah. So that means if you understand black pepper, if you understand what cinnamon does, if you understand what cardamom does, if you understand what oregano leaves do, and now you consciously, when you cook with mindful action, you put this together into a meal, understanding each of the ingredients, the sacredness of it. And then while you cook it, you put yourself in a transcendent state. And when you eat, it will open up to the energetic nature. Rather than giving into a theory about what is a juice diet and then rushing around and doing other things. Yes. So it's a totally new way of living in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Totally new way. Yeah.
And a whole other aspect of being a foodie is looking at traditional food qualities, not just the appreciation of the taste.
Yes.
Yeah, like
once you start,
food and medicine.
But once you start putting the things together, the taste buds will take up a new level.
Yeah.
The enjoyment of the food is a new level. Because you suddenly realize, okay, I can actually put if you put like certain herbs and spices together, you will detox and mobilize at the same time, but you also will build. For example, if you eat a chocolate mud cake, that's about as yin as you can go. Yin means calm, yeah, the quality yin. So if you eat these chocolate mud cake, you get an instant experience of yin. Like, have another bite, yin. Yeah. So, but there's no mobilization. It doesn't mobilize. So what happens is, after you're eating 2 pieces, you get bloating.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because the chocolate mud cake hasn't got any ingredients that mobilizes chi. It's purely designed to calm, yin, to give you a reward, to give you this nourishing, which is yin. So, but there's nothing yang in there. So what you need lots of coffee with it. Well, what's coffee? Coffee obviously doesn't do much in terms of building, doesn't do much in terms of calming. So now you're moving to the next energetics, and now you need something else to correct that. And suddenly you're down the track. So the idea is to put that all into one meal so that the meal is complete. Mm-hmm. So you have that all in one meal. That means it detoxes you, it mobilizes you, it builds you, and it calms you. Well, that's the key. That means when the meal is finished, you feel wholesome. You feel complete. So you can work with coca. I put coca in my lunches. I work with cacao. I work with, because the bean, the coca bean, cacao bean is a very, very powerful bean. Yes. So you can actually create a meal that resembles a chocolate mud cake. Yeah, but it's not a chocolate mud cake. Yes.
Yeah.
But it's the same. For the chocolate mud cake to work, it works because of the sugar, which is mobilization, and the coca, which is obviously the calming aspect, the yin aspect. So, but it doesn't do anything in order to build it. So it takes it out. So you want to work with the coca so that it actually builds you. You want to work with sugar so it builds you. Yeah. So people say sugar is bad. The isolated form of sugar is the problem.
Yeah.
Yes. The white sugar, the Tim Tam, that's the problem. But working with the sweet needs to be in the meal. Like when the proper Chinese meals, people like, of course, a lot of the Chinese restaurants these days taste for they cater for Western. So you have a lot of MSG in there and things like that. But when you go into the sacred places, like where they cook for medicinal purposes, the meal is always sweet. It is always pungent. It is always bitter. And it's always refreshing at the same time. So you got everything combined. So it's like a meal that is wholesome in itself. And if it's wholesome in itself, that means it will do what the celery diet does, but it will also do what a good steak would do. But at the same time, it also will do what a chocolate mud cake will do. Okay?
Yeah.
So this is obviously where a whole new world opens up. And we live in times now where we need to look into, we've got no choice other than to do that. Yeah. Okay, another aspect I'm always saying is, people say, why do I need a celery juice diet? I don't bash the celery juice diet. I look at why do you need it in the first place? Because for you to need the celery juice diet, you wouldn't do that intuitive by a gut feeling. By a gut feeling, you would go for something that is wholesome and nourishing and sweet and pungent and whatever. Yeah, something that suits your taste. So you wouldn't do a celery juice diet on a free choice. Yes. So there's no free choice when it comes to the celery juice diet. When it comes to the juice diet, it's usually because the person has run out of options.
Yep.
They have violated health on so many aspects. Now there's no option. Okay, so I need an immediate change, and the celery juice diet will obviously do that.
Yep.
And so, but we can't look at the celery juice diet as being what is a salvation is, because we've got to look into the lifestyle that led you to needing the celery juice diet. That is the issue, not the celery juice.
Yep.
So in my line of work, I don't focus on the celery juice diet at all. And I create massive changes in people and of course, incredible energy building. And I've never once put people on the juice diet. Yeah. So I look at, okay, what is the lifestyle that led you to needing the juice diet? And got to start focusing on that first. Yeah. And then using lots of spices and herbs in order to correct the damage, so you can return much faster than a juice diet would do. With Chinese herbs, you return to center within a few weeks that a juice diet couldn't do in 6 months. So juice diets are completely overrated from that perspective. So what we're going to do, first of all, we take the medicine. We use medicine, Chinese medicine, in order to correct. We do the acupuncture. We do Chinese herbs in order to correct that what led to the problem. Then we're going to introduce a lifestyle that will follow the path of yin and yang. And that includes a diet that is wholesome, that will lead you all your life towards towards enjoyment of eating, towards nourishment. So that means you will have food that you will look forward to eating.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I see this so many times, people that are on a diet and then comes 5 o'clock, they don't look forward to go home because there's a celery juice waiting for them. And then it's raw kale in a bowl. We're not meant to, how do you want to nourish yourself with this? Yes. So the idea is to obviously correct instantly with herbs and spices. So you return, so you create, because the juice diet is all about detox. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you detox the body, obviously you get an initial experience of mobilization, but there's no building. And therefore the activity, the mobilization doesn't last very long and people start crashing.
Yeah, they get depleted.
Yeah, and then obviously it goes, stuff that I am not made for diets. Yeah, and that's my view on the whole thing. No one is made for diets. We are not made for diets.
Yeah.
Yes, we supposed to eat in balance, in harmony, and enjoy it. Well, otherwise, what's the point of the taste bud? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's a reason why we have that. Yes. And that's where we need to work with. Yeah.
So a lot of people really don't have much knowledge or information about cooking, and there seems to be less and less, right? Which is a worrying trend. But say people are wanting to embrace this, like where do they start? Where do they just looking at trying to learn about what are the different qualities of foods and getting in touch with what they need as well?
The first thing is the realization needs to come in that what is the purpose of eating? What's the purpose of food? And for this seminar today, we can only look at the principle, yes, because it's such a complex field. But if you understand the principle, you already move up a level in the understanding, big time. Because as soon as you understand, the food is all about detox, mobilization, building, calming. So if you got those 4 qualities, that means every time you eat, you're going to look at that. How much detox is in here? How much mobilization is in here? How much building is in here? How much calming is in here? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to address the thing. Okay, what mobilizes? What detoxes? What builds? And obviously, this is where you're always to get the ball rolling. Always start working with seeds. Always seeds are crucially important, like any kinds of seeds. And like any diet, whatever you eat, always make sure there are some seeds in there, because seeds open up the meridians.
Okay, yeah.
The purpose of the seed, it's a spring. It opens up, it's a spring. The seed is the growth of the tree. Boom, it opens up. So everything starts with seeds, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And so every diet, every meal you have somehow needs some seeds in there, yeah? Hemp seeds I reckon they're magic. I'm telling everyone, every health shop, hemp seed oil. It's got to be in should be in everyone's fridge. Hemp seed oil. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it opens up the meridians. Like, oh, it's magic. I mean, this hemp is already in Japanese tradition. The hemp plant is one of the most magical, mystical plant in the botanic world.
Yeah, I find it super interesting too.
Yeah, because it can be converted into anything. into protein, into carbohydrates, into petrol, into butter, into oils, into clothes. You can build houses on it, and you can get stoned from.
Yeah, it's an amazing plant. Grown before Prohibition in 1937, grown in every continent on the planet without fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides.
It grows everywhere.
Yeah,
amazing. And it bends like a bamboo. And so in hemp seeds, you're addressing the omega-3s, because omega-3 is everyone knows that's a big thing. The omega-6 is the problem, but that's the cornstarch and all the fast food stuff. So, but moving away from oils is exactly where we can't go, because that means we don't mobilize. We don't. Mobilizing means anti-inflammation. Yes.
And I remember actually learning that the oil in hemp had the exact ratio of omega-3, 6, and 9.
Yeah,
it's perfect. Yeah,
it's very high, but it's one of the instant delivery of omega-3s. So the omega-3s and all the oils, just think about oils are essential so you treat arthritis conditions.
Yeah.
The biggest problem we have is inflammation, like inflammatory conditions. So as inflammation rises in the body, stress factors rises. Inflammation goes up, cortisol level goes up. Cortisol level goes up, inflammation goes up. It's a feedback. Yeah? So the more inflammation we have in the body, the more stress we feel. The more stress we feel, the more inflammation we cause. Yes. So seeds enter the body in order to go downwards rather than upwards in the spiral.
Okay.
Yeah? So the aggravation factor between stress and inflammation, seeds act on it and bring it down. Yeah. Right. So that's why seeds, everything starts with seeds. Yeah. So for example, if you want like a really good way to start a meal, like for example, the best way is to work with a wok, which is like a Chinese pan. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And without having any oils in there, just put in sesame seeds and poppy seeds, lots. Put them all in there, and then toast them for a while to open them up.
Yep.
Yes. And then you put coconut milk in there. Yes. Coconut milk is great in building and calming. Yeah. But also detox. Coconut milk is very powerful. Yeah. Then you put the coconut. Then you put lots of turmeric in there, and put it in there. And then you put pink salt in there. Salt is very important. Yeah. Salt mobilizes. Yeah. But salt is also calming. The white salt is a problem. Then mix it all together. Now you've got a stock, a base. Yes. And now you can put some tahini in there to make it thicker. Yes. And now the next thing is you put some, now you can put veggies in there, like broccoli, sprouts. Yeah. And then you put some mushrooms in there, not just the mushrooms from Woolworth. Go to Chinese shops and get some exotic looking mushrooms. Yeah. And just research some mushroom. Now you put that all in there, and then you put some meat in there or some protein or whatever you want to use as protein, mix it all together. And at the same time, you have some steamed rice, and then you put it together. It takes 10 minutes. 10 minutes, say 15 minutes, yeah? And you have a meal that is detoxing, mobilizing, building, and calming, yeah? The poppy seeds are enormously important for, like I tell everyone, have poppy seeds every day. It's minerals galore. It's got so many minerals. It's got zinc. It's got all the aspects that we need in order to have a strong building body. Yeah. So yeah, poppy seed.
Porridge.
What?
Loving it in my porridge.
Yeah. Nutmeg is a really important spice to work with. Nutmeg, because what nutmeg does, it takes care of the antifungal detox fund. But so cloves are another one. So you will find a lot of the spices in the supermarket are actually medicinal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps that's why they've lasted so long.
Yeah. You just
need
how to open them up. Yeah. So as I said, a good way to get started is always like when you have the pan, okay, first thing what you do, just put the seeds in and toast the seeds, open up. Then put the coconut milk in there and cook it for a while. Then put lots of turmeric, like turmeric every day. Yeah. And put it all together until it becomes a paste. It becomes a paste. And you can thicken it by putting some tahini in there or some hemp seeds more. Then you put the veggies in. You cook with veggies. You put some oregano leaves. Oregano leaves, everyone should have oregano every day. Yeah. Thyme leaves, all kind of like, there's a lot of, even parsley or mint, lots of mint. Mint is another one of those detox spices or herbs that is far more powerful than celery juice. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
You can, like for example, if you want to make it, you can start with a mint paste. You finely chop mint and put it into the wok. Put some coconut milk in there. Then put some lemon balm in there. Put some citrus peels in there, and really open up. And then put poppy seeds in there, and you got like a detox. It's far beyond celery juice, but it's yummy.
Yeah.
Put honey in there. My God, some honey in the end. Oh, you go, oh, it makes a chocolate mud cake look boring.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone like me is starting to feel a little bit envious for some nice food right now.
It's all very simple. You just got to get started. We just get it started. And a good way to get started is have ginger, turmeric, get spices, black pepper, and get lots and lots of seeds, poppy seeds. Black sesame seeds are incredible. Black sesame seeds, the seeds of health food shops, they've got all these seeds. Just check them all out. Take your iPhone with you, your smartphone, every time you're in front of it, just put the name on Google to see what comes up and say, oh,
yeah,
this sounds awesome.
And black cumin seeds, they're pretty potent too, aren't they?
Yes. Any seed, mustard seeds, the bitter.
Yeah, we use a lot of them in our Indian cooking, mustard seeds.
So you want the 5 tastes, the bitter, the pungent, the spicy, the sweet. You want all this, you want everything's in there. And then after a while, you get a real good feel about what is actually what my body wants. You see, appetite and hunger usually draws you to the spice that you want to work with. So one day you may work with paprika. Next day you work more with cayenne pepper. Yeah. So people always say it's hot and spicy. Yes, of course, it needs to be hot and spicy because it's mobilizing. It's anti-inflammatory. You know, one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory spices is cayenne pepper. Yeah.
Yep.
Cayenne pepper and chili. Yes. So of course you're going to you cook it together with mint or with other things in order to balance it. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. And so you constantly work. Trial and error is the best way to learn. Yeah. So that means you discover what you need rather than what other people think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the best way to get started, get ginger today, fresh ginger, turmeric, got oregano, paprika, cayenne pepper, lots of mint, all the seeds. Yeah. Hemp seed oil.
Yeah.
Don't cook with hemp seed oil. Hemp seed oil is you put it into your porridge in the mornings when the porridge is cooked. It needs to go back to the fridge. Yeah.
Yep.
Good honey, you know, like honey is a good one.
Yeah. Raw honey.
Yeah, raw honey, and then look into citrus peels and all kind of this sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played with citrus peel, but I believe like one of the things I learned, nutrition, there's a nutritional compound within the lemon peel that can actually reverse the like diseased liver cells, like really powerful. The only one on the planet that they found at the time. Yeah,
you've got to be aware, like the Chinese for 3,000 years have researched that and have looked into, okay, what the universe, this is Taoist, proverb. The universe will not provide us with a problem without providing us with a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So the physical can be a problem. I mean, I would say in most cases it is a problem. Yeah. It's tough being here. So, but then we also have lots of support given to us, and the support comes via food.
yeah. Hey, some questions. Like
Yeah.
when you say lots of seeds, like how many seeds? You talk about tablespoons of seeds?
Oh yeah, of course. Tablespoon.
Yeah, yeah, not mucking around.
No, you lost.
And I know you've got
Okay, for example, I take in my porridge I have 5 tablespoons of poppy seeds.
5. Okay, yeah, sure.
2 to 3 tablespoons of black sesame seeds. A full handful of fresh ginger.
What in your porridge?
Yeah, of course.
How much do you have? How many poppy seeds?
5 tablespoons.
Okay. And what was the other thing? Celery.
2 black sesame seeds. So 2 tablespoons of black sesame seeds.
2 tablespoons black sesame. Wow.
And I let it all soak overnight.
And a handful of ginger.
And yeah, a handful of ginger.
I've got to get better at growing ginger. I'm good at turmeric and galangal, but not enough ginger in my yard yet.
Black pepper in there. Yeah. Poppy seeds you get in health food shops.
Yeah.
Health food shops, all the health food shops carry poppy seed. Woolworth got lots of poppy seeds.
Yeah, I get them from Indian grocers and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
People have asked where can they find recipes. So that's
not in there.
There's a porridge one in there.
Yeah, there's a porridge recipe.
I share that a lot, and there's also a buckwheat pancake in there as well for breakfast. That's under the breakfast time cycle. But do you have any other suggestions for recipe resources? Just
obviously. It's like when you look at Chinese dietetics, you will find a lot of. But I'm working on a book. I've got a book coming out in about a month, all about this.
Fantastic. So we'll need to come back to this post and say the book's been released. Yeah. Which does remind me, I need to put a lot of these links that we've talked about with Jost in the past for his websites. I'll pop them in the chat box here, and I'll put it in the comments in the Facebook Live as well. And keep an eye on that so we can get these books, eh? What about, there was a comment about the peel, the citrus peel. Do you just eat it raw? Do you steep it? How does that?
There's lots of ways. Once again, if you go into Asian spice, if you go into Asian shops, yeah, you will find most of the stuff, this sort of stuff, like the more exotic spices, you will find in the Asian shops. If you go to Chinatown and in those Chinese places, it's full. You just tell the counter you want citrus peel. And then put citrus peel, put it up on Google to see, so you get the quality, so you know what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In my upcoming book, I talk about all this sort of stuff. Yeah. I go right in detail about all these sort of things: what herbs, what spices, and how to act on each other. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Can't wait to read the book. Fantastic. Do you have the name of the book yet?
No, not yet. It's another month, so we're nearly there.
Yeah, good work. Good work.
Are there any questions? I see there's some questions coming.
Examples of building foods.
Building food is protein.
Yep. Okay.
Building food is protein, and that's obviously the calming is the carb. Carb is calming. Mobilizing is the other seeds and the fats, and detox are the citruses and the that's where the celery would come in and all kind of stuff like that. Yeah.
And then so spices have just got different according to the spice. If you
take carbs out of your diet, a lot of people, I can talk for hours now. Look at the factor that causes the bloating. Don't look at the carbs as being the problem. If you take wholesome carbs out of your system, you're taking serotonin pathways out of your system. Yeah, it's just this. So, but apart from the outs, there's lots of other ways how to work with. You don't need to work with oats. Oats is, if it works, if you like oats, go for it. If you don't, look at alternatives. And there are lots of alternatives like barley. There's lots, buckwheat, quinoa. It's endless. We live in great times where everything's available. As long as, yeah.
I think one of the things where people go, oh, oats don't work for me. Okay, maybe they don't work for a person, but maybe that person also hasn't had them prepared the way you're recommending.
Yeah.
Where it's soaked overnight and it's with these different things. It's with ginger, it's with these different herbs and spices.
Yes.
And it hasn't warmed perhaps, like or cooked in the right way. So it's not just like any one ingredient in isolation. It's really about how it's prepared as well. And even the intention of the person cooking it, right?
Yeah, absolutely right. Oats by itself is like, that's a Western view. And in Chinese medicine, we wouldn't have oats by itself.
Yeah. I've got a personal question around seaweeds, because I've been thinking about putting some seaweeds in my oats and my porridge again. I used to do that years ago.
Anything you can put in there. You can put eggs in there. You can put bone marrow in there. You can put anything.
I've never thought of that. Bone marrow and porridge. There you go.
You can boil a goat head and put porridge in there. That's what Koreans do. Yeah. Anything.
True story. What? Koreans use goat heads in porridge.
Yeah, I've eaten it. A goat head porridge.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah, that's all my research in the macrobiotic.
Yeah.
The macrobiotic diet, they put everything. You can put fish in there.
Yeah.
It's anything. It's endless. Yeah.
Sandra's asked a question. We've got the questions flying in now, so you really got people chatting. This is about a renal flush recommendation. So kidney flush, drink be taken every morning on an empty stomach, glass of water, cayenne pepper, lime, lemon, and turmeric.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is obviously, okay, so this is where lifestyle is coming into. Because when you look at detox, when you look at the 4 qualities, detox, mobilization, building, and calming, that's the chi cycle. Large intestine, stomach, spleen, heart. Large intestine is detox and mobilization. Building is stomach and spleen. Heart is calming. So, so these renal flashes are isolated views on, they're Western views. We don't have them in Chinese medicine. We look at lifestyle. So we're going to do the detox mobilization through the body first. And so when we wake up, we always do a practice first. Yes. So just water and practice. In all my places in the East I studied under, it's in their blood. When you get up, you do some kind of practice first. Qigong, mobilize, shake the body, bring all the qi down. You know, there's lots. First of all, you want to detox, mobilize the body. So then the diet, the food you eat will also have those elements, but the detox needs to be done because of detoxing the body first for your practice. Yeah. So this is obviously where stretching is coming into. Like all animals, if you come home, you've been away all day and you come home and your dog's waiting for you. Your dog is so excited to see you. What is the dog doing before it jumps up and gives you a hard time? Downward dog, upward dog, downward dog, upward dog, then jumps up.
Yeah.
A dog never gets up and stretches, never would get up without stretching first. A cat never gets up without stretching first. If you follow your cat all day, you would come up that they're doing about 2 hours yoga a day. Yeah. So animals constantly stretch the tendons. Birds constantly stretch. So stretching is absolutely crucial. So with all my people, all the clients I've observed who need the celery juice diet, most of them didn't have a stretching routine. Yes?
Yeah. Yep.
So the first thing what I do is, okay, we got to start stretching. Simple stretches, forward stretch, backward stretch, side stretches, all kind of stretches. Get the body mobilizing, and 50% of the symptoms disappear. 50%.
Yeah.
That a celery juice diet would do also, but you're doing 50% of the symptoms disappear without you doing the celery juice.
Yeah, exactly. When I was in an integrated medical clinic, people come in with really chronic, like life-threatening conditions, and we do 3 months of just getting their gut working well and detox pathways open, and their symptoms would halve. We hadn't actually treated the disease. We're just treating the body to be healthy. Yeah.
That's the first thing. You always need to stretch. So if you stretch the body, you don't need those renal activation stuff. That's Western stuff.
Yeah.
That's Western stuff. In the East, we always combine everything.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, stretch the body, move the body, mobilize the body. And you can do rigorous exercise, obviously, or gentle exercise. It doesn't matter as long as you mobilize the body, stretching.
Yeah.
And then you focus on the diet that has those 4 qualities in there. That means there's always something with a citrus in there. There's always a seed in there. There's always a protein source in there. Even my porridge always have like rice sprouted protein in there and things like that. So you're in every meal you have like this is another thing. We need 3 serves of protein a day. Yeah, so that's obviously another thing. Many people are protein deficient. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, right? That people, I'm sure many people on the call, including myself in many ways, we kind of just want to know the answer. But it's not the answer. Like I've studied over 200 different dietary philosophies and health coaching, nutrition stuff that I've done. And the answer that I got when I come out of that was, well, a diet needs to be tailored to each person. We're all different stages of our life, different, there is no one diet for everyone. And that can be really frustrating because people can't have that black and white answer straight away, right?
That's exactly right.
I think the message here is the same message that I get from the best healers, practitioners, healthcare professionals that I know of. The message is one of empowerment for you to heal yourself. And that requires education and experimentation and to play with it and understand some of these like time-honored principles that they don't change. This stuff has been proven for thousands of years. And so you've got to get, in charge of your life. You've got to start to delve into what these principles are. And then you can get down to the nitty gritty of like what's in the stuff. But yeah, it does require some participation. Yeah.
Yeah, but your taste buds will guide you. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And because the starting point is, you know what to do. You need to get some seeds, get ginger, get turmeric, look at spices when you go next time when you go to a supermarket and put them all in. And every time you cook something, start with a stock. Do a stock first. And that means put the seeds in, toast them, then put some coconut milk in there and put other things until it becomes a paste. And then let it simmer for a while so the seeds really open up. Put lots of turmeric in it. And then you add the veggies and the meat. Yeah.
I've taken heaps of notes, Jost, and I'm really looking forward to your book. Can't wait for that to come out. And we didn't plan this conversation I didn't know you had a book coming out until today. But we planned it because it's such a key thing. And particularly in this time where people are concerned around immune systems and spending more time at home, it's a fantastic time to get in the kitchen and, get stuck into it, learn some skills,
And when you cook with music on.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Music on.
Yeah, we do often have a dance party in the kitchen, I've got to say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what music it is. I have doof music. I got electronic music, doof happening. Yeah. Other people put sitar music on. Other people classic. It doesn't matter what it is. Yeah. And in the evening, have a glass of red wine with it.
Yeah, that's right. Cooking and a glass of wine is just wonderful. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Well, look, thanks, mate. It's been another great chat. Really appreciate you sharing your knowledge. Thank you, everyone, for your comments and participation. We really didn't talk much about redox at all today, but that's fine. That comes up in other times. But if you're interested in learning about the redox, which is an amazing tool, just get back to the person that invited you to the call and continue to pop your questions and comments in here because your participation as an audience really helps us engage and provide good content for you. So everyone, have a fantastic week and be healthy. Do your best to empower yourself to be healthy. Have a great life. And thanks for attending us on the call. Any words you wanted to say, Jost, to wrap up?
Yeah, it's just with this diet, don't get overwhelmed by it. Just get started. Just follow the 4 principles, which is in this blurb: detox, mobilization, building, calming. Every time you eat, have a look at it, and start instead of researching what is the best diet, research ingredients. Look at what is black pepper, and then do your own diet. Develop your own diet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love your work, mate. You're amazing. Thank you, everyone, and we'll catch you next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.